And all the brothers and sisters said, "Amen."
I love that you think we're going to punch him in the mouth.
Fingers crossed, right?
And I ain't butt chugging anything.
We got to do some content here.
In the Venn diagram of fucked up, I'm not sure where that fits, but I'm pretty sure I hit the nail right on the head there.
Works well under close Nick Saban adult supervision.
Randy Sanders has the team dialed in. They are ready to go.
How many bananas do you want out of me?
Don't know. I kind of want to give Vanderbilt some love here.
I love those head games at the two.
You got to weigh all your options.
It's so much fun.
Nobody wants to go Lane Kiffin here? I might go Lane Kiffin here.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here we are. Liquor and Leagues is back. We are in week 4. We just wrapped up week 3, jumping into week 4. Obviously, as always, here we cover the games in the SEC. We will take a look at the week that was and then jump into the week that is and make our picks. So let's waste no time. Gentlemen, how is everybody doing?
On the one hand, I think I had a really good week of picks.
You did. 100%.
On the other hand,
your team took a fucking drubbing.
I mean, here's the thing. I didn't expect them to win, but I mean, really?
You expect them to show up?
Really? And I get it. I get it. George is good. Like, duh. There's a reason they're ranked number 1 in the freaking nation for a reason.
But you should be able to score more than one touchdown in the waning seconds of the game. At least a field goal.
And that's just because Georgia gave up.
Look, I bought into the hype, and I still believe that Shane Beamer is the real deal. I think he's going to be with us for a long time. I think he's a great recruiter. He's got a lot of hype and energy. He's smart. He's going to build a great staff, whatever. But I really thought Spencer Rattler was going to be better. I mean, there's talent. There's talent around him. Good receivers, great running backfield. I mean, I know the offensive line suspect, but fucking hell, 48-7.
Yeah,
no
what was the
and the only reason there was a 7 was because it was in fucking.
They gave up.
Yeah.
Look, the only reason you guys scored 7 is because Georgia left the field with 2 minutes left to go, and you guys were out there by yourself and still had to drive downfield to score. It's fucking ridiculous.
Exactly. They kept tripping over themselves.
Yeah,
blades of grass.
They were tripping over all the people still on the field after the second quarter.
Well, that's how I'm doing.
For the celebration.
I don't know. How are you guys doing? Do you guys feel good about where your program's at so far?
You know what? We're going to get there, but let's go ahead and let's do this right. Okay. So,
I'm sorry.
I
brother. I jumped.
Yeah, you did, man. Look, that was a painful game to watch. I have no doubt.
So here's the thing. I wasn't able to actually watch it, but I tell you what I was able to listen to it. So I was able to watch the Tottenham match, which was fucking great, by the way. And listen to the Carolina game. And at a certain point, I just stopped listening to the game.
You know what you didn't hear in the Carolina game was special teams going off.
Actually, they did, right? Didn't they have a couple good special teams events?
Sure.
As I recall.
Define good.
Well, they had the
48-7 does.
They had the fake punt for a first down.
Woohoo!
Oh,
and I think it was actually one of their first downs.
Did it translate? Did it translate to 7 points? No, sir, it did not.
No,
they turned the ball over right after that. But it was a good play.
Georgia do a fake freaking punt for a first down? I don't
they
think so.
They don't have
need to.
That's not the point.
All right, let's jump into our games. Obviously, we're going to start off with the week that was, as we always do. So we're just going to run down the list real quick, and if there are any standouts here, we will discuss them. Alabama, UL Monroe, 63-7. Anybody shocked? No? Let's move on. These are the numbers you expect from these teams, right?
Yeah.
63-7. Arkansas, Missouri State. Now, this one did surprise me because at one point they were tied. I was like, what the fuck is Arkansas doing? Playing at home, a team like Missouri State, but they eventually did pull out the win. And as we've said before, that is what you expect.
Can you throw up the spreadsheet since I was sadly not here last week?
Oh,
I'm
you were
not sure
not here.
Yeah, I wasn't sure who
sorry.
got what. So I'm curious to see how
everybody.
Yeah.
And that's something we talk about obviously when we get to the week that is. But so that you can see what the week that was picks were like. Kentucky, Youngstown, 31-0. I was a little surprised that Kentucky didn't walk away with this, that it wasn't more like the Alabama game, 63 to whatever.
31-0 though is still pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Kentucky,
definitely
Youngstown.
respectable. But I think in my head I expected it.
But Kentucky's not Alabama. I mean, Kentucky's good, but they're not Alabama.
Understood. LSU, Miss State. This one, obviously, we all went LSU, expected it maybe to be a little more lopsided. Last year was the year that Mississippi State kind of put it on them with that air raid offense. Clearly, they came out of the gate this year. Mississippi State started to kind of pull ahead, but LSU managed to rein it back in. Brian Kelly, I won't say he's got the offense humming, but he at least was able to pull out the win here. So that was a benefit. Ole Miss, Georgia Tech. Obviously, this is the Lane Kiffin offensive kind of, supremacy that you expect. 42-0. Abilene Christian at Missouri, 34-17. I don't know who the fuck Abilene Christian is, but Missouri let them put 17 points up. That's okay. Obviously, we touched on the Georgia game, 48-7. Yeah, let's move on. Tennessee, Akron, 63-6. Obviously,
that's what you would expect. Tennessee's rolling.
They better. Yeah, I mean, that's what you expect. Texas A&M, Miami. This was one of the pick'ems here. Miami, I believe, was 15th going into this game. Texas A&M had plummeted.
Yeah, but we all picked A&M, so
we did.
Good for us.
I mean,
I'll be honest with
you.
See, I having not been on the episode, I truly thought A&M was not going to be a pick that we all would have picked. I'm shocked to see we all went A&M. And
I felt pretty confident in that pick.
Even though they got slacked by Appalachia State,
they didn't get
the week
slacked though.
Okay.
Oh, they did.
No, hold on, stop. If you're an SEC
team
standpoint,
they did not get slacked. Now, let's be honest. Appalachia State rolled in there and took $100 million from them.
Yeah,
they took
the win from them behind the shed. They took them behind the shed.
Game day from them.
Okay, well,
they were supposed to be at Texas. For the Texas-Miami game, and they pivoted to go to Boone after Appalachian State beat Texas A&M.
Okay,
so I thought that Texas A&M would rebound from that game. They've got the players. They had the #1 recruiting class, right? And they're still working to put that together, but I felt comfortable that they would rebound. And I'm not quite sold on Miami. I mean, it's an ACC school ranked that high. First year head coach.
You got to earn it.
I'm not buying into it.
Yeah. I want to do the battery test on that first.
Okay,
and it was at night, so I was confident with that pick. Sorry.
Now I will say, sorry, Haas, Mac. I will say this. I'm gonna agree with Haas on this. Unfortunately, they did shellac them. If not in the scoreline, in the fucking stat sheet, it was 42 minutes of possession versus 18. It was 359 yards versus like 180. I mean, that is not what you expect,
right? Especially in your
words
back when they had the #1 recruiting class. They've got all this freaking momentum and talent. Like, you just don't expect that to be a thing,
right? But obviously, we know how it fell out. And then I will tell you, Northern Illinois jumped out to the early lead over Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt managed to pull it back. Look at them
pissing me off.
Anchor down, baby. Well, you chose Vanderbilt, though.
You did.
So I don't understand why you're
upset. Well, I'm upset because
which I'm also shocked about.
I almost thought Northern Illinois was going to pull that game out.
The problem is Mac doesn't know who to vote for now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, 1 week they're great, and
believe me, next week,
team of multiple personalities.
Next week versus Alabama, I think that's an easy pick for you, but that's okay. All right, so let's jump into some of these others.
So hold on. So A&M, right?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So let's jump into some of these other ones. Penn State, Auburn. That was the pinnacle one this week. And as you can see from the spreadsheet, kudos to both you and Mac pulling out an undefeated week. 12 wins across the board. Everything picked correctly. I think Grinch said this was like a 2.5 point game. Like it was supposed to be a close line. Yeah, 41-12. It does not as close as what Vegas thought it should have been, from what he said. Yeah, I mean, they just beat the shit out of Auburn at home. Like Auburn was at home.
But Auburn's not played yet.
They haven't played anybody. Not that Penn State has either.
Penn State.
That's the problem.
Yes, but other than the Purdue game, I mean, Penn State, they've looked pretty solid. I mean, they're winning games in the fashion in which you expect them to win.
At the end of the day, last year we talked about the Bo Nix era at Auburn and how they were just so wildly inconsistent. He ain't there, so what's the fucking excuse?
I bet they wish they had him back now.
Right?
No, they don't.
I mean,
he looked good with Oregon the other day.
He did. TJ Finley. I mean, I even saw like flashes of TJ Finley last season. I'm like, that's the guy. Like, why are they starting Bo? But clearly they didn't get it done against somebody. To invite them into your house. You thought this game would have been closer, even if Penn State wins, but make it, 41-38, not 41-12.
Right.
That's fucking ridiculous. So, but, good on Penn State. You've done it, 2 years in a row now. I think they beat them last year.
Yeah, they did. up at State College.
State College. So they just happen to have Auburn's number. Maybe Auburn's like, we're not putting them on the schedule next year. Fuck that. I don't know. And then finally, we're going to get to the South Florida game. Now, I'm torn here. I voted for Florida, but my alma mater is South Florida. So it's like I joke with my dad. It's a win-win for me either way. If Florida wins, great. If South Florida wins, that's the first time in school history they've ever beat Florida. That's something to hang your hat on. Mac, I wanted to ask you a question about this game. Now, Florida pulls out the win 31-28, but by all accounts, they should not have won this game. They shouldn't have won this game.
Yeah.
Now, I know they did. And that's the important part, right? And you go, oh, well, you pull out the win. That's what it's all about. But in my opinion, they should not.
I almost wonder if they should have lost this game because they got a lot of shit that they needed to get cleaned up.
Oh my God.
Without a doubt. And you saw them celebrating as they should. I mean, right, they're still kids. I get that, right? And you said it, a win's a win. But you got a lot of shit to clean up, and we know they do, right? We got to remember they're in a rebuilding year, and so I kind of I would not have been upset if South Florida had won that to kind of knock them out of their big boy pants.
They barely made it by Utah.
Yeah, they did not beat Kentucky.
They got whooped around by Kentucky. They almost lost this game. I mean. I know South Carolina is not. I mean, out of all the programs we root for, Georgia's the only one that's like really rolling. I mean, our programs are both kind of like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys look at the schedule that Florida has. I mean, do you think they're going to finish positive? Are they going to finish 500 or better?
I'm honestly not sure. That's the
know.
problem.
They got Tennessee next week, right?
Yeah.
They still got Alabama. If I'm not mistaken.
No, got
that's right.
Tennessee.
I'm thinking Georgia. Sorry,
Missouri, LSU, Georgia, A&M,
Eastern Washington or something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, Eastern Washington. I mean, that's Eastern Washington. No. You don't think so?
I say nothing. Look,
nothing's a guarantee anymore.
Beat by Georgia Southern a couple of years ago. I don't think anything's a guarantee anymore.
Yeah.
What about Vanderbilt? They play Vanderbilt. You don't think that's a guarantee?
Not the way Vanderbilt's playing. Vanderbilt's ahead of them in the standings.
A few years ago, that was the first game we ever went to.
Yeah,
Vanderbilt beat them,
and they beat us.
So
you guys got to quit going to games.
That's
together.
what we said.
Every single game, every single game y'all go to. We went to the Carolina game. They lost.
The important thing to note, though, is that we had a tradition where we had to go to Applebee's before the game.
Before a game,
because we went 2 years in a row and they won.
Right.
Thankfully, that tradition is done because let's be honest, Applebee's not the greatest food in the world.
So why would you do that to your stomach?
Because we did it one year and they beat Georgia and we're like, fuck. And so we did it the next year and they beat LSU and we're like, fuck.
Right, because that had nothing to do with the players or the coaches, the play calling, right? It had to do with the two of you schmucks.
We went to Applebee's.
All right, look, on task.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
on task. All right, so just real quick on this game. And again, stat sheet is, by all accounts, on the stat sheet, USF should have won. First downs, 23 to Florida 17. Total yards, 402 to 329. They ran all over the fucking field. 286 yards of rushing against Florida. Now, Ventrell was out, in terms of the defensive, and he's the defensive play caller for Florida, and he was out with an injury. And, unfortunately, that clearly affected him. Time of possession, 37 minutes to 22 minutes, 22 and change. So, I mean, like USF really controlled the ball at the line of scrimmage. They were able to move up and down the field. If it wasn't for the fourth quarter and Brendan Cox just showing up and showing out in the fourth quarter, I mean, he was everywhere all the time in the fourth quarter, thankfully.
But he can't be that.
He can't be that guy. But it was one of those, as that game wore on, I'm like, we're going to fucking lose. They just didn't, they were not playing the way you thought they should be. And I'm concerned that Napier is just making some poor play calling at this point. And I know Jordan Rodgers, he was tired of saying it, like they need some design runs with your quarterback. The dude's 240 pounds. He can run like a fucking bull. You need to use that to your advantage.
You've got Trevor Etienne. Why are you not running him?
I don't know. More? But the problem is, and they said it on the show, the reason Napier, in their professional opinion, the reason Napier is not running Richardson right now is Jack Miller is not ready to go as the backup. They don't have a backup, so they're not going to put their quarterback in harm's way with no
That
backup.
makes sense because I was going to
No, that
ask
makes
you. I
sense.
mean, yeah, that does. That tracks.
But unfortunately, again, they pulled out the win, but unfortunately, this is not a team that looks super comfortable right now. And I said it last week. I think they bought into the hype from beating Utah, and I'm not sure they're there yet, Mac. I think you're right. I think people need to accept that it is a rebuilding year. And if they finish 500, kudos, take that as a win. Get to a bowl game.
Yeah.
But I think people saw them upset Utah, as high ranked as Utah was, and thought, oh, we're going to make it to the big dance. Might have gotten ahead of ourselves. So, yeah, it is just one of those things where I think they need to kind of temper their expectations. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I think I just minimized that. They need to temper their expectations and go, look, we are in a rebuilding year. It's a new head coach, new offensive playbook, new defensive playbook, new staff. You've got players that are just learning. Richardson's been there, but he's learning with a new staff. So, there's going to be a learning curve. But yeah, we did take the W. So Haas, to answer your question, I'm happy about the win, but I'm concerned about the team down the stretch. How can you not be?
Yeah, I get it.
So, all right. So that's the week that was. Anybody have any final thoughts on the week that was before we jump to the week that is?
I mean, look, I think since Grinch isn't here, we should say kudos to Georgia. I mean, they
without a doubt.
Yeah.
They looked
every bit as the number one ranking that they have in the nation. And I've got to imagine he's pleased as punch.
Let's be honest, Haas. The only reason you scored 7 is literally Georgia walked off the field. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they had their backups in. That's the only reason.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I mean, to our credit, so did we. But I mean, I mean, look, it is what it is. You're right. I think based on what I was listening to, we had opportunities. We had drives. We had big plays that were happening. I think the potential is there. But I mean, potential doesn't mean squat when you're playing against a program that just has the amount of talent, a massive amount of talent they have, the depth they have. I will say this. I mean, we lost 2 of our best defensive starters last week. Going into this week in Arkansas, we lost them for the season. So, I mean, and we're not as deep as they are. So, look, all credit where credit's due, man. Georgia looks like they're going to fucking repeat.
I mean, it's early to make that claim, but right now,
so if they stay healthy and they continue to tweak and refine, I don't know how they don't.
And I would agree with you on that fact. I mean, it's as painful as it is to have to admit, they are the dominant force right now in college football until somebody can prove that they can unseat them.
I will say this: AAA, BA, anybody but Alabama. ABA.
Amen.
I mean, I'm okay if it's Georgia.
Unfortunately, after week 3, Haas, I will say after week 3, and of course, this isn't saying much about you. You're in dead last in the East. Florida is 1 rung above you.
I know.
Vanderbilt's ahead of both of us.
I know, buddy. I feel you, dog.
And do you know who the number 1 team in the SEC East is right now?
Is it still Vandy? No, it's got to be Kentucky, right?
It's Kentucky.
Yeah.
Which was a surprise. I thought it'd be Georgia, but it's Kentucky in the SEC standings.
Yeah.
And in the West, it is Arkansas.
Yeah.
So, and again, they've showed out better. Alabama struggled against Texas. I know, Haas, you weren't here last week to talk about it, but it's just one of those things where it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out as we move down the stretch.
I mean, I think we can say it's said every year, and I'll say it again. The reason why the SEC is so awesome is because every year there are amazing storylines, and you never know. You never know week from week how it's just going to play out.
No, you think you do.
You're right,
and it proves you don't.
And this here is another example of that.
Yes. All right. So let's go ahead. That was the week that was. Let's jump into the week that is. Gentlemen, as you can see, Grinch is not here with us today. I know I didn't mention that at the outset of this episode. I apologize. He is not here. But because he is leading right now with 35 picks total, I am in second place with 34. Haas, you are in. Actually, Haas, you and I are both tied with 34. I'm sorry. And then Mac, you are bringing up the rear with 32. So 3 games out of first. So as the picks stand this week, Grinch picks first. As you can see, his picks, he sent those to me. Those are in. He's got his. Haas, you won the week with 12 picks, so you will go second. I go third, and then Mac, unfortunately, you go fourth. So that is how that works.
Didn't I tie win the week?
No, but it's based on.
I know.
It's
I
not
just wanted to
based.
mention that.
Oh, it's not based on the
take the
only
small
pick that
victories where
matters
I
is
can
the
get 'em.
second. Do you want to go? I'll go last.
No.
You sure?
I do not want to buck the commissioner because I tried that once already and I got bit for it. So not going to do it again. You're,
Fair
you're,
enough.
You like
your
it when
league,
he
your
bites.
rules.
Don't lie to the freaking listeners. You like it when he bites.
That's
I
it.
do.
That's it. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into this. All right, Haas. Let's go ahead and start. Alabama. Hold on. Let me go ahead and make it my life easy. Alabama Vanderbilt is the first game.
I'm yeah, Alabama.
Anchors down, man. Come on.
Mm.
He's
Buy
like,
into the hype.
all right, Arkansas, Texas A&M. Now they're going to be at Kyle Field,
I know.
so this ought to be an interesting one.
Yeah, and
You want to come back to that?
yeah,
Okay, we'll come back to that. Auburn, Missouri, both shit-tastic teams.
yeah.
You want to come back to that one?
No, well, I'll do Auburn,
Okay. Kent State, Georgia.
Georgia.
Be funny if Kent State unseat them.
It would be.
Now, Northern Illinois showed up against
Yep.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah, but Kentucky's rolling, bro.
Okay, Kentucky it
man.
is.
And until they show me otherwise, Kentucky is rolling.
Okay. New Mexico, LSU.
LSU,
Tulsa, Ole Miss.
Ole Miss,
Bowling Green, Miss State.
Miss State.
Charlotte, South Carolina. Oh,
God,
Charlotte?
God
Oh,
help
shit.
me, South Carolina.
Their special teams are going to keep them in this one.
That's right.
Mac, you rooting for the 49ers?
It's not my turn to pick.
Oh,
I'm not picking out of order.
I'm
Commish.
sorry. And then Florida, Tennessee.
I'm gonna go Tennessee
I
because
fucking knew it. Yeah. How can
I
you
mean,
not?
Tennessee's rolling,
I know,
bro, and
I
they're at
know.
home,
Fuck.
and you don't know what Florida's gonna do. And I'm
That's
pretty
the
sure.
problem.
Look, if they go in and win, cool. But yeah,
All right, let's roll back to Arkansas, Texas A&M at Kyle Field.
you know, man,
This is one of those you got to gain a
you
win,
know
a
what's
game
fu-
back.
you
if
know what's
can.
funny? Yeah, I know, and you know, it's the Auburn, Missouri, and this game. I think are the two for me this week that are like could go either way. Yeah, he picked Arkansas, didn't he?
He did.
I'm gonna go A&M.
You're gonna roll the dice.
I am. I think there's a chance. I do. I really think there is. I don't know if it's a great chance. In fact, let me see if I can see the line on this.
Find the line. And Auburn, Missouri. You mentioned it. I just want to check. Do you want to change that or?
No, Auburn's at home, right? Again,
Yes,
against
yeah.
Missouri, and Missouri's not playing anybody. Yeah, I'll stick with Auburn.
Auburn.
I gotta think they're gonna get their fucking asses kicked this week in practice, and they're gonna get their god shit together this week. I cannot imagine them losing, to Missouri at home.
Okay.
A&M is actually favored. They're giving 6.5 points.
Okay. So
And they are well, this is weird. Why is it
the
they're
question
giving-
is,
they're giving 6.5, but they're only, I don't understand this line. 22. Oh, only 22 people, 22% of people have betted for them. I don't know what the percentage is that people think they're going to win. The bookies think they're going to win, but looks like they're giving points.
okay. So what are you saying?
So-
Texas A&M?
Yes, I
Stand
do.
by your man.
And yet this one says that Arkansas is giving 5.5. I don't know. I'm going to stay with A&M because I got to make a choice.
Yeah, you do. Okay, dope. There you go.
And I gotta
Alabama.
quit betting against Arkansas because, the wife is an Arkansas fan. Okay, according to this, A&M's a 57.8% favorite. So it's a pick 'em basically.
Okay. So we're good here.
Yep, I gotta take a
Alabama,
shot.
Texas
Yep.
A&M, Auburn, Georgia, Kentucky, LSU, Ole Miss, Miss State, South Carolina, and Tennessee. So you are locked in, brother. All
Sure,
right,
yes, sir.
my
Thank you, sir.
turn. Alabama over Vanderbilt. Yeah, I'm definitely going there. I am also going to go Texas A&M over Arkansas. My thought here is, while I think they still tried to buy a team with their recruiting class, I think maybe they're still butthurt from the whole App State debacle, and they are at home, and hopefully they can figure some shit out. I'm not completely
Kyle
sold.
Field is like, it's an event, right?
I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
I don't know. Yes, it's an event. I apologize. Absolutely, 100%. I'm also going to go Texas A&M because in terms of the games, there aren't a lot of options here to try to pull one back on him. So that's the one I'm going to go with.
Yeah, thanks.
Missouri,
That's what it was.
Missouri,
Sorry.
Auburn. I'm going to go Auburn as well. Hopefully down there on the plains, they can figure it the fuck out since Penn State just rolled over them, unless Missouri just watches a lot of Penn State footage. Georgia over Kent State. I'm also going to take Kentucky over Northern Illinois, LSU over New Mexico, Ole Miss over Tulsa, Miss State over Bowling Green. Mac, what should I do here? No, not even going to give it to me, huh? I'm going to go South Carolina over Charlotte. I think South Carolina special teams will keep them in the game. I think the score is going to be.
The line is on that?
Such a dick, dude.
The score is going to be 9-0. They're going to be a few block punts, maybe I don't know, a kick six. Who the fuck knows? But yeah, I think South Carolina is going to win this. And then the painful of painful games, Florida, Tennessee. 63-6. 24-17 over Pitt. That was an overtime win. And then what did we have here? 59-10 Ball Sack State. Fuck, any school in Indiana doesn't deserve to have a football team. Yeah, that's the problem. I don't think Florida has shown me shit, and they're going to be up in Knoxville on the orange and white. I really don't want to root against fucking Florida. It hurts my heart.
Well, if this helps, according to the site I'm looking at, it's only a 4.5 line. Tennessee's only giving 4.5.
Which means Tennessee's looks like they're saying Tennessee will win.
Yeah, they're saying Tennessee is favored by 4.5 points.
Yeah, but they said that same shit about Penn State Auburn, and look how that scoreline turned
Yeah,
out.
I understand that, but I'm telling that's what I'm looking at. Is right now that's the line, 4.5 points. So
Okay.
in other words, it's a pick 'em. And in fact, according to the betting line, right now it's 50-50.
I'm Thor.
Okay.
Pick him.
Okay, fucking find the right key, douchebag. God damn it, did it again. Sorry, I bumped my mic in. My bad.
Yeah, you're back.
I'm going with Florida. All right, let's move on to Mac.
I don't want to dissuade you, but I want to be fair with the information. The second site is a 9.5 point line.
For Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tennessee, I'm going with you now. Look, I get a wild card pick, right? We all do. So if my gut, I'm going Florida. Fuck it. All right, Mac, we move to you, brother. Alabama, Vanderbilt.
Right. Alabama.
Texas A&M, Arkansas.
Arkansas. I like what Sam Pittman's doing there. I think they're going to pull out the victory.
All right, look at you. Auburn, Missouri. I
mean, it is pretty impressive what they're doing, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got the team bought into his philosophy, and they look good.
I want to hear you say it though, because I love it when you say it. It gets me moist.
He's got the team dialed in, man.
Oh,
they're going down.
Oh my God!
Take Texas A&M down.
Oh, now I can go take a nap.
Auburn over Missouri. That's only because everybody else is going Auburn, because this game could go either way. I think.
I hear you. Kent State, Georgia.
Georgia.
Northern Illinois, Kentucky.
Kentucky.
New Mexico, LSU.
LSU.
Tulsa, Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Bowling Green, Miss State.
Miss State.
Charlotte, South Carolina.
Charlotte.
Oh man.
Look, South Carolina has not impressed me as of late. I'm sorry.
They haven't impressed anybody.
And I'm looking at it. They struggled a little bit against, they ended up pulling away and beating Georgia State first week of the season.
But as Haas said, that was all special teams.
Yeah.
It legit was. No, all joking aside, I mean, you keep making that joke, but
Charlotte just beat Georgia State yesterday, 42-41. So close game, but they put up a lot of points. So I think they could pull this one out.
All right. And then Tennessee, Florida.
Tennessee.
Fuck, man.
I can't on this one. I'm taking my chance on Charlotte.
Or, and hear me out here, you could choose South Carolina and take your shot with Tennessee, Florida.
No, I think Charlotte's got a better chance of beating South Carolina than Florida does of beating Tennessee, unfortunately.
You know what, bro? I don't think you're wrong there. I think you are dead money right on that.
The 49ers are going to roll into Columbia because it's a short drive, right? 2.5 hours. So no real travel.
Here's what I'll say.
They're going to take your money. They're going to take your win. And just like App State, they're going to take College game day.
Yeah.
They're going to be here.
If South Carolina doesn't bounce back and play strong against Charlotte, I don't know that
Beamer may not make the season.
I don't know if this train doesn't completely jump the tracks.
All right, so that is the week that is for our SEC picks, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Now we move on to the off-league game, and that is, as you know, we are following Coastal Carolina. Mac, who are they?
The Chanticleer.
There you go. And so we have Coastal Carolina versus Georgia State, as Mac just mentioned. Georgia State barely lost to South Carolina, just got beat by Charlotte, and here they are taking on our Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. So Grinch did not give me a pick here. Uh-oh.
We're going to choose for him.
He just forfeit that pick.
Oh, does he?
That's the rules. That's not good. So let's hope this doesn't come down to this tiebreaker because he just forfeit that one. Do you guys,
I feel if I had to pick for Grinch, I think he would go with the Chanticleers here.
I think you're right. I think because that's just who he
But
is.
he just gets an L, huh?
Well, we'll put it, but that's Haas's name, first of all. We'll put it in there, but maybe put it in green.
I'm sorry, then I fucked that up. Because
so we know
Haas picked Buffalo.
I did.
Fuck. God damn it. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're good.
I keep fucking bumping the goddamn cable. All right. So we're going to give him Coastal Carolina. All right.
Yep.
Well, whether or not he gets the win or the W for that or not, whether or not we count it, that's up to us. But we'll go ahead and give it to him.
I
Haas,
ain't giving him no goddamn win.
no goddamn
Motherfucker's
win.
a 2-time repeat champion.
Fuck that. That's right.
And he ain't here. He ain't here. He ain't put
Mac-
it in. He knew
Mac,
the rules.
I was a little fucking irritated that you actually texted him and said, "Don't forget to get your picks in." I was like,
Look,
I'm
I
not
want you guys
warning
to
nobody a shit.
I
You
want
better
you guys to
remember.
beat him fair and square.
No, is
Not
that what
on
it
a
is?
technicality.
We're not concerned about that.
No, we're not, because you know he wouldn't be.
No. Haas, it's to you, brother. Coastal Carolina.
Georgia State. Let's go. Come on.
Georgia State.
Georgia State. Got this.
Because Buffalo paid dividends for you.
Well, you know, I gotta take shots.
That's it. I will go Coastal Carolina, and so will Mac, because I just put that under the wrong name. Mac, who do you want, brother?
Coastal Carolina.
Coastal Carolina it is. All right, so we have our picks for next week.
Man, I'm gonna have to
In
win
the
this
Sun Belt
fucking
Conference,
thing by
Coastal
like 5
Carolina.
games, so it doesn't
It-
come down to this.
So, all right, so we have it locked in, the SEC games for week 4 and the Sun Belt Conference game following tracking Coastal Carolina. All the picks are locked in. Gentlemen, as always, I appreciate it. Another episode on Liquor and Leagues is done. It's in the books. Nothing can be done at this point. It is what it is, and we just got to ride and weather this storm and see how it all plays out. As always, gentlemen, I love doing this with you week in and week out. For all you listeners at home, please check out our website, aspiriteddebate.com. It is the parent show to Liquor and Leagues. You can check out all of the episodes there in the vault, or you can drop us a line at the 4 horsemen at aspiriteddebate.com. Mac is giving me the nod like, bitch, hurry up, I gotta go. So
Yeah, like all of a sudden you decide to extend the
yeah, we're
outro.
gonna roll it
right?
out,
I'm
baby.
like,
Make
dude,
it
come on.
count. Drop us a line at the 4 horsemen at aspiriteddebate.com. We would love to hear from you. Tell us about your picks for the SEC. Who's your team? Who's not your team? Who would win? Who won't win? We don't care. We just love hearing from you people. Gentlemen, as always, thank you for being here and giving me your hot take. Love doing this every week. Can't wait to do it again next week. And I will talk to y'all later.